And now it's time for the Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Please welcome our panelists. Guest number 1, Jason Cassity with I Sell the City. Guest number 2, Erica Bocian with Rising Realty. Guest number 3, Mike Litton, Keller Williams Escondido. And guest number 4, Melissa Sofia with the Avenue Home Collective.
All right, we are live. It's time to debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate with 4 amazing real estate agents in the studio today. Our topics will be Zillow's Coming Soon feature, whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing for the industry and for consumers. And of course, 1031 exchanges on the chopping block, as they always are every year. Congress is talking about 1031 exchanges, whether they will go away or not. And if they did, would that make real estate not as good of an investment? Let's meet today's panelists. We'll start from left to right. Erica Bocian is here from Rising Realty. Erica, how you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
You're a multi-time debater with us here, so we appreciate your time. Of course, Jason Cassity is here. He's back. This is back-to-back debates.
Back-to-back debates. Say that back-to-back.
So you're a known Zillow advocate.
I am.
So this is a big day for you today.
It's like a label I wear on a necklace.
Yeah. You're brave.
Thanks for coming back, my friend. Appreciate you. Melissa Sofia is here from the Avenue Home Collective.
What's up?
What's up? Melissa Sofia in the house, also Win This Listing participant. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Participant on the reality show Win This Listing. And my man, Mike Litton.
How are you, bud?
From Keller Williams Escondido. Thank you for being here, my friend.
My pleasure.
Okay, so Jason, we're going to go to you first. Our topic number 1, Zillow's Coming Soon features not only sidestepping the MLS, but it's also encouraging greedy agents to try and double in deals without providing market time for their listings. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. I mean, it is in essence a little bit sidestepping the MLS, but it's pre-MLS. And so I'm a big advocate of having a strong pre-sale strategy, and that includes Zillow's Coming Soon feature. I mean, the easiest kind of analogy is movies don't come out to the theater without having a trailer first, right? It's kind of just a natural progression of things. In the same vein, I won't say it's not right for every situation. There's some times where you need to get the property on the market fast for certain reasons, but if you're going to try to list for top dollar and you need a strong pre-marketing strategy, pre-sale strategy, Zillow's Coming Soon is a great way to drum up some interest in that. Now, of course, there's going to be, there's agents who use it scrupulously, I guess is the word. I don't know. I did spell check.
Someone look that up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but at the same time, you have to eat the hay and spit out the sticks, right? Just, you can't, I don't know, I mean, unemployment and welfare, wherever you stand on that, you can't throw the whole program out because 5%, there's fraudulent 5% of it, right? You have to look at the whole program as a whole. I think Zillow's Coming Soon is good as a whole because it's drawing attention to a property, especially in low inventory and things like that. Maybe the property needs a little bit of time to get spruced up before it goes on the MLS, and you can draw some attention to it pre-MLS. It's a good thing to me. I've always been an advocate of more consumer information.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that pre-marketing is absolutely a necessity. I think that if you're going to, especially in a market like this, if you're going to garner excitement and gather as many multiple offers as you can, definitely. But I think that the 5% you're talking about that are using it scrupulously.
Yeah. The word of the day. Hashtag
word of the day.
scrupulous.
Will someone spell that for us?
Yeah. Can we be corrected? I know that it's a lot more than that, and I think that's where your question comes from, the greedy agents, are they coming out of the woodwork because of this feature? Absolutely. I see all of the time, I have gotten calls from clients who say, hey, I saw this on Coming Soon, and this agent says that I have to buy it directly with them because it's not yet on the market. There are a ton of agents out there in this market right now who are telling buyers that they can't buy the home unless it's through them because it's not yet on the MLS. And it's unfortunate because we can sit here and say, hey, we estimate for you to sell your home for this much, and we can bring them that offer. But is that truly the best offer that we can get for our clients? They will never know, and we will never know until it actually hits the open market. And so I personally pre-market. I absolutely put it out there before it hits the MLS, but I also allow my listings to hit the open market. And if my buyers have to go up against other offers, then let that be the case, because I want to make sure that I'm always working in the best interest of both of my clients at all times.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing I think is the big argument against it, is that you see Coming Soon, listings that have all photos and videos. It's like, this is ready for the MLS. I mean, come on. I think that's the big knock on the coming soon is it's not being used as coming soon, it's being used for agents to double in. Mike, what do you say on this one?
It's being used in the wrong way, but I mean, the industry uses things in the wrong way all the time. I don't know anything about eating hay and spitting out sticks. I don't know anything about that. But what I will say is, you know, it's a pre-marketing strategy. But here's the thing. In a market like this, with pre-marketing like that, you know, using coming soon on Zillow, you're going to get offers, and your clients are going to look at you and say, I don't want to be on the market. I don't want to go any further. That's an offer I want. I'm going to take it. We work for them. Now, do we counsel them? Absolutely. The last time you and I talked, we were counseling our sellers on what's happening currently in the marketplace. But it's up to the seller. It's up to them as to what they want to do. And some of them, quite honestly, don't want to show their houses. So they want to use coming soon, and they want to use pre-marketing, and they want us to do the things we do, and they want to take advantage of this market. I think it's a disservice to a client, and I tell them that every single time. If they decide that they want to buy it, if they decide they want to sell a property coming soon on, you know, off of a coming soon deal, but it's up to them. You know, it's their choice.
See, but it's great that you say, you know, you're saying it's a disservice because.
Oh, I absolutely.
Yeah. So as long as, but not everyone's doing that. It's integrity, and there are a lot of agents who lack integrity.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's scary about our industry, is everybody's in real estate now, right? And it happens when the market gets hot, everybody gets in, right? You remember a few years ago, you and I have been friends for a long time. We've talked for a long time. We've been on shows together for a long time, and there was a time when houses weren't selling. Yeah. And there was a time when you couldn't find a realtor. So I think what's important about this is that as long as we maintain our focus where it should be, which is the client, and taking the best care of our client we possibly can, and doing the best we can for them, the rest of it takes care of itself. Zillow or no Zillow.
Very good point. Erica?
Amen to you, sister. I agree with everything that you just said about the coming soon feature, and I also agree with you also about how it is up to the client. You can present offers to them before it comes on the market, and it's up to them whether or not they want to take those offers or they want to go on the market. And I feel like, yes, you should go on the market because you never know what kind of offers you're going to get, and those offers that you get pre-market, you don't know what's going to happen with those buyers, and they just might be trying to get a deal and in before because it's this perception of it's off market, and then you never know what's going to happen. To me, there's no difference really in this coming soon feature than putting a sign in the yard before your house goes on the market and doing a coming soon mailer and targeting that neighborhood with your pre-marketing campaign. Sure. That's essentially the same thing as what Zillow's doing, except they're reaching a ton more people because it's Zillow and it's online. So I'm all for your pre-marketing strategy and plan, but I feel like it's you put yourself and your client in a situation where you have those agents that, well, your clients will get the property if they write the offer with me. And then what do you do to your client? Your client wants to get the property. That's what you do. We are in the business of helping our clients buy homes that they want. How am I helping a client if I say, well, you can't buy the house if I represent you?
How do you stop that? I mean, that's what really
I can't stand that.
That has to be stopped.
I can't stand that. That is so unethical. And I was just in a situation 2 weeks ago where I was in a multiple offer situation, and I had to cross-qual my buyer with a lender, and they said, well, you'll have a really better chance of getting your offer accepted if you work with our lender. And that lender couldn't even beat the rates and program that my current lender was offering.
Yep, and that was something we actually debated. I believe it was
it was the second half of our last debate.
Second half of the last debate was the cross-quals, and that's exactly the problem. So you start, and when the market gets good, all these things start popping up. Everybody starts getting really greedy, which is one of the reasons why I think we're at the
right.
But you know, it's just, it happens every time. You start to see every stage of the process, people being more and more greedy.
Here's the thing, though. This is just the nature of the game, and people who have been in it for a long time, we know it's always been like this. Internet, before internet. You know, it's always been like this. There have always been these agents that are just out to kind of screw everybody over. I think that the most important thing as us being agents is to make sure that we're always educating our clients, and they can know and trust that we have their back. And, you know, just being the best agent you can be is really, you know, the best service that we can provide.
But she makes a good point. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you know, like in that situation, what do you tell the client?
But is it Zillow's fault? So because you said, right, you put the sign in the yard and you can pre-mail and things like that. So it sounds like you're for pre-marketing, but Zillow's Coming Soon is just a better feature of pre-marketing. It's not Zillow's fault that there's shady agents out there abusing the system. I mean, even without Coming Soon, I knew agents who owned their home who listed it for sale on Zillow just to collect the buyer leads. You know, they had no intention of selling the homes. They put it up for sale on Zillow, and then they would say, oh, it's actually not for sale, but hey, if you're looking for a home, right? Or it's agents who call for sale by owners and pretend to have clients, and then they go in the house and then they try to. There's shadiness all around. I don't think you can blame Zillow's Coming Soon feature for that.
I mean,
I don't remember blaming Zillow.
No, exactly, right? I hear the Coming Soon.
Yeah.
I haven't blamed them the whole time.
They have
It's not about them. It's about how it's used.
Correct.
Zillow's a tool.
Correct.
It's that simple.
100%.
So, you know, it's just like anything else. You go get in your car's a tool.
Yep.
You have a cell phone, your cell phone's a tool, right? You're going to use it or abuse it,
Yep.
use it correctly, not use it correctly, use it legally, not use it legally,
Yeah.
use it ethically, not use it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
is the Coming Soon feature good for consumers? That's where we come back to. I think yes.
all
it
together,
depends upon who's using it.
It's perception.
It's a tool.
It's the people that are out there on Zillow. First of all, half the information on Zillow, it's not even accurate. How many times do you get calls for buyers and they're like, oh, I'm looking at this property. It's a $300,000 house in Fletcher Hills. Yeah, right. That sold in like 1992. Sorry.
Well,
there are a lot of issues with with inaccuracies with Zillow, and they're actually doing a lot of things to change that right now. But I think that the issue is along with a lot of things that are going on today, it's all in the hands of the consumer and making sure that we as consumers and as a society, we're educated. Because one of the things that consumers don't, I think, realize about Zillow is that they are a money-making business. And they are all about making money from real estate agents. Correct. That is where their money comes from. So, obviously, they're going to go and say, we are very consumer focused and we are here to service the consumer. But they have to understand that there's another side to that coin. There are agents who are paying thousands and thousands of dollars. There's thousands and thousands of agents paying thousands and thousands of dollars a month. And, so what is driving Zillow? Consumers have to remember that. I mean, like for instance, not all homes are on Zillow. Listing feeds. Right. There are a lot of brokers and a lot of agents who right now don't even know that there was a switch made and their houses aren't even on Zillow right
100%.
now. So when consumers are thinking,
there are some that have opted out too.
Yeah.
And actually, Sandicor was one of like the biggest holdouts in the nation.
They're like the last ones.
Yep. They were the last ones to sign up because they were like, "Screw you."
Exactly.
Yeah, Sandicor actually argued with me on the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
When I signed the RETS agreement.
They're like, "Don't do it, Mike."
Yeah, they literally argued with me on the phone.
100%.
They said, "Oh no, you don't need this. We've got our own setup. We're going to automatically feed." And I said, "No, you have to opt in."
Correct.
So send it.
It took them a long time.
If you don't send it, I will.
But consumers don't realize, they think that all the houses on the market are on Zillow, and that's something that they need to be aware of too. We are still the #1 source for homes. As
Zillow's
agents.
not completely innocent in this situation.
They're not.
Okay, you can't pretend they are. And I'll give you one specific example. There was a for sale by owner that I wanted to check out. It said contact the owner, so I put in my information. They're sending it to the owner. All of a sudden, I have real estate agents calling me.
Yeah.
So there needs to be some sort of accountability with them on what they're showing people and what the reality is. I think that's where the issue is. Now, the Coming Soon feature, what we're actually talking about here on this particular situation.
I'm not threatened by it. I'm not threatened by it. I'm not threatened by it. It's the same
I don't think you should be.
It's the same pre-marketing that you're doing by putting a sign in the yard and dropping a mailer and door knocking a neighborhood to let all the neighbors know I'm having a listing. It's coming soon.
Right.
It's
Zillow
next week. No big deal. I'm not threatened.
Right.
Business
We
is
can
not
run
going to
our own-
stop because of this Coming Soon feature on Zillow. I'm not afraid.
We can run our own ads online. We can run our own social media marketing. We can spend the dollars in different ways if we so choose.
There are pluses and minuses to everything.
Correct.
Absolutely everything. Again, it's a tool, and some people use it, some people abuse it.
Yep.
Just like
It's
guns,
the abusers.
alcohol, whatever. It's
just like
it's a
anything.
tool, but I think there needs to be some sort. Maybe it's not Zillow's responsibility. Maybe it's the association's responsibility. Maybe it's CAR. Maybe it's NAR. I don't know, but Someone needs to get in there. Okay, let's jump to the second topic here before we
So
run too
Zillow's
far on
blameless.
this.
That's what we came up with.
No, not that they're blameless. I mean, they came up with something
It's
good, but I don't know that they can
interesting
make
loophole.
They
I
came
don't
up with
think
a
that they
better
can-
yard sign.
I don't think that,
basically,
yeah,
is what they did.
they did, and I don't think that they can really regulate the shadiness. I mean,
not
I think
their
they,
job.
yeah,
They
that's-
can't
that's-
They're
regulate
an
what agents
advertising
are
firm.
saying.
They're an advertising firm.
Correct.
It's not their job to
They
regulate.
can't regulate the shadiness. There's
They're
no
not
way
the
for them
government.
to do it. Exactly, they
And
don't have the
shady
power.
people
They
will
may be the
always
size
find a
of the
way.
government, but
I
they're
mean,
not the
that's what we've
government.
named 4 different ways that us insiders know about the fake for sale by owners. And shady agents will always find a way.
Yeah.
So that 5%. But that's I go back. Can't
Well,
can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can't eat the hay without the stick. I don't know. There's always an
Spit out
analogy,
the-
right?
eat the hay and
Keep
spit out
it
the
coming.
sticks or
Yeah.
something.
I'm just gonna
I've
go.
never heard that before. It's like I've never eaten any hay, nor spit out sticks.
Or throw out babies in bathwater.
All right, let's
Yeah,
try to
or
get into
throw the baby
1031
out the front
exchanges. So 1031 exchanges seem to be on the chopping block. In fact, I had a buddy of mine who's an insider who's actually been in Washington.
Really?
Talking, yeah, he's a
tell us.
high level guy on the 1031 side, and he didn't tell me specifically what was taking place and what the discussions were about, but he said there could be something really big changing soon. And so, and he said, and you know, you're going to want to know what this is before you find a 1031 exchange, or before you encourage anyone to do a 1031 exchange.
From this point forward.
Yeah. So yeah, I posted on Facebook. Maybe some of you saw it. Hey, who has a 1031 exchange guy? And it was him who said, "Hey, hold off on whatever it is you're doing." So it could be that they're modifying it into something else. He told me about a few different things that are possibilities. But the topic is, with 1031 exchanges on the chopping block, as they always are, would the loss of 1031 exchanges make investing in real estate less desirable and therefore cause potentially prices to even
Yes.
come down some? Okay, Erica.
Yes, absolutely. Real estate is another tool. People invest in the stock market. People invest in real estate. Real estate is, I'm not going to say a safe investment, but it's a way to avoid paying massive taxes and moving your way up as you get older in life, reinvesting your money, selling one property, buying a condo and keeping it as a rental, getting a house, buying multi-units, buying apartments, and just having those cash flow. And it's a way to defer your money each year, so you're not paying taxes on it instead
for
of
capital gains.
yes,
On investment property.
yes, on
Yeah.
investment properties. That's what. Yeah.
And you can depreciate. Yeah, there's a couple different things.
Yeah.
There's tax advantages.
Tax advantages, exactly, and it makes it an attractive market for people to invest who don't want to invest or who want to diversify their portfolio. Have some investments in stocks, some investments in real estate. You got to keep it diverse.
Okay, so you think the loss of that would be detrimental. Jason, what do you think?
I think it would make for a very profitable rest of the year for a bunch of real estate agents, and because everybody would be trying to do it before the new tax law kicks in, and then it would probably slow down a lot of investment sales that would have rather otherwise happened. Obviously, a lot of your ancillary services, your real estate agents, lawyers, title, things like that, who kind of are involved in a real estate transaction. If a bunch of real estate transactions disappear from the market, that could affect, that kind of reciprocal effect all the way down the chain. Could see that, but I think after a certain point there would be a new norm, and so I don't know that. I think there would be a big spike in 1031s, and there'd be kind of a level off, and there'd probably be a new norm. I don't necessarily. I mean, again, the demographic watching the show, I don't know. Your mom and pop buying their $500,000 starter home is probably not going to affect them a whole heck of a lot right out of the gate. But your higher end earners and your commercial, homeowner or commercial business owners and whatnot, it's really going to affect that high end of the market, at least for the first probably 3 to 5 years until they find a new norm.
I actually, the head of research at CBRE, he actually said that, this is going to really change the, 1031 tax exchange. So they are, I don't know, hopefully they don't. I'm actually against this, but if they do eliminate the 1031 tax exchange, it's going to be coupled with other reforms, and then it's going to, end up being a different kind of tax write-off. But here's the problem: it's going to be for businesses. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be who this 1031 tax exchange elimination is going to affect is the mom and pop investor, the people, 2-3 homes, and they bought a condo in Long Beach while their son was in college, and then now he's moved back down to San Diego and he wants to, get a condo down here. That's who that's going to affect. It's unfortunate to see this, if this happens, if this administration is doing this, because, I thought that they were, really in it to help the middle class and, stimulate the economy, and I do think that this would, put a damper on our economy and our, like you said, our real estate market. It will take out, some of the incentives for these small-time investors. It's, the majority of 1031 tax exchanges, they're, under $1 million, and it's, those are the people who are taking advantage of the situation. And actually, California, well, the whole West Coast, we do 80% of the 1031 tax exchanges across the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, for good reason, because we
There's
have the values.
You ever had an asset that somebody made an offer to you on in the state of California?
Yeah.
I called my CPA. I had a big offer made on one of my assets. Called my CPA. He said, if I sell it, what's it going to cost me? 47%.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why
Seriously, it was over $1 million offer.
So as
it
Californians,
it would have been $470,000 on $1 million offer that I would have paid in taxes.
it's crazy.
So, do you think I sold it?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
And that's my concern with this thing.
Well,
Right.
but
That
here's the
people won't
thing:
sell.
if it's
They
going
won't.
to businesses, how long does it take mom and pop to turn into a business?
Right.
3 minutes on
Correct.
the internet?
Correct.
Come on.
That's yeah.
It's not. I mean, the 1031 tax deferred exchange, if it goes away altogether, is going to have a major impact.
Major.
But if all they're doing is changing it from individuals to businesses, most of these people that are individuals are operating under a business
Right.
deal anyway.
100%.
They
At
formed
least
an LLC and they own it
at
through the
least the
LLC.
investors, yeah.
In fact, it's
should
recommended. A lot
own
of
it through the
a
LLC.
lot of attorneys
Right.
recommend that you own
Right.
rental real estate under an LLC.
Tax liability
So
or
yeah. So
liability,
I mean, and legal
Real
liability too.
liability, that's- yeah.
So I think this is a tempest in a teapot. I don't think this is that big a deal. And they'll just incorporate, or they'll become an LLC in 3 minutes, and they'll be done with it.
I think it all depends on what the regulations actually turn into. Are they going to completely eliminate it? Is it going to really screw over everybody, or is it going to turn into something that's actually a viable option? Where these small-time investors and those people that are taking advantage of this can actually still use it in some sort of
There's
way.
something else to think about too, and I know we haven't talked about this, and I know that every time we sit down and do these, I always get into this big, broader global picture, and I know it drives you nuts.
Saving the world's problems.
But here's the thing. Yeah, we're solving all the world's problems, right? Here's the thing. There is a major thing happening right now. There's a major trend happening in the United States. You have pension funds that are bankrupting municipalities. You have retirement funds that are bankrupting retirement funds. You have, literally, people are being paid too much in the way of retirement funds now in terms of their distributions. And it's bankrupting a lot of these systems, like the National Education Association, the teachers union, that kind of thing. Their retirement systems are going belly up, and these municipalities are going belly up because the pensions are too high that they're paying out. What's going to happen here, I think, is you're going to see more and more municipal bankruptcies. You're going to see more and more of these pension funds go belly up and go upside down. That's what happened in the auto industry. Mm-hmm. The auto industry, when they had a slowdown, they went bankrupt because they couldn't pay the pensions. They couldn't pay the UAW pensions. Nobody talks about this stuff. Here's the thing. The same kind of stress is on Social Security now. Mm-hmm. We're not going to have the same kind of Social Security that our parents had. It's not going to happen. There isn't enough money there. There's too much in the way of unfunded mandates to even begin to get anywhere near it. So I believe that rental real estate is going to become the next hot thing because people like us are going to be buying it so that we have something called passive income. We're going to need it if we're going to ever retire. You and I are going to work till we're 100, but you understand what I'm saying.
No, I
right?
agree.
I'm doing real estate for fun when I'm 100.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%.
This is how people are going to
Yes.
This whole thing is getting ready to completely change.
Yep.
And I believe that what's going to happen is there's going to be a paradigm shift. The book I'm writing is about that. There's going to be a paradigm shift in this country that's going to be forced. It's going to be out of necessity. And every time you've ever had a paradigm shift in this country, like maybe the last election, it came from necessity, right? Same thing. You're going to have a paradigm shift, I believe, that's going to happen in the next few years, and it's going to be out of necessity. And the 1031 tax deferred stuff is not going to be as important because they're never going to get rid of their real estate anyway.
Yeah. It's
The
gonna
other
be a
thing
buy
you
and
have,
hold situation.
the other thing you have is you have baby boomers right now that are trying to bequeath their rental real estate to their millennial grandkids, and their millennial grandkids don't want it. They don't want it because they don't trust real estate. That's going to be another paradigm shift. Eventually, they're going to come to where they embrace it, because look at what's getting ready to happen. When those millennials were teenagers, they watched their friends, their family, their friends, their family's coworkers, that kind of thing, watched them lose their houses. They don't trust real estate. They're going to need it more than any of us.
We're trying to
They're gonna need it more than
we're
any of
literally
us.
trying to change
They're
that.
going to need it more than any of
You know,
us.
and a lot of researchers say that, but then what's happening is actually more millennials are investing right now than people think. And they said that we weren't going to do it, but we are. And I agree with you. I think that out of necessity, we're going to have to build our own retirement. I think we're going to have to make a life for ourselves, you know, beyond depending on Social Security.
So the paradigm's already shifting.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
face that.
Social Security is not
You
going to
heard
be
it here
there.
first.
I like
Yeah,
it.
Social
It's
Security
happening
is
right
not
here.
going to be there for
Right.
us. Like, if
So-
anyone thinks that it
So-
will be, you need to have something else lined up. You need to have other investments.
But that's why 1031s are important, though, because you need to be able to have the opportunity to upgrade your assets, you know? And if we have to buy and hold the same old asset that we couldn't get rid of, how are we going to build that for ourselves? So
Take out stock at Home Depot and Lowe's.
It changes the game. You have to then start saving for the
does.
next property and not count on that property. So you have
Right.
to just a paradigm shift in the way that you're looking at it.
It's a shift
would
in
take
strategy,
place.
yeah.
Yep.
The strategies would have to shift, and I
but
think
it is a blow
could.
to capitalism, and you know it's going to be a blow to people who are dealing with it right now.
It's
you know?
well, the 1031 exchange in reality is like the best
Turnover.
tax break
It
that
is.
exists
It's a
on
great-
the
that's
whole
why.
thing. It's the
Don't
best tax
take it
break that
away
exists.
from
I
the
know,
middle class.
but it is kind of like a gift.
It's
I don't
a
feel
straight gift.
It's a straight gift, so
So,
it's
but
not
like,
it's
why
not an
give?
entitlement.
Don't we
It's-
want to keep the gifts?
It's a nice
But
gift.
it's not actually
Keep the
capitalism.
gifts.
Yeah,
It's not capitalism.
It's just
kind of not.
It's,
Says the
it's
millennial.
deferring.
Said the millennial.
want
So
to
we're
defer
clear.
it. We want to upgrade our assets so that we can retire on these things.
No, the 1031, as
Come
far as
on.
I know, too, that's Trump's
Didn't I
plan.
just say that?
Doing away with the 1031 is his plan to fund his corporate tax rate at 15%, right? The money that would be lost there would come from the 1031. So now if he can't get his tax plan through, the 1031 would not be on the chopping block anymore.
Right.
If that's as far as I understand,
Accurate.
is that
We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard right now.
I don't want
Well,
to
this
chicken
whole
little
thing-
this whole thing and be
this whole
like, your
thing's about-
1031's gone
It's true.
tomorrow, because that's not
true.
the
This
case.
whole
may
thing's
not
about
be.
reconciliation. He's trying to make it revenue
right.
neutral,
Exactly.
so that he can get it done with 51
They're just trying
votes
to
in
make
the
the
Senate.
numbers
Correct.
work. That's
I
what they're
mean-
trying to do.
Right.
You know.
We shall see. Fantastic debate. Thank you all so much for coming today. Really appreciate your time. Of course, like the page, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff so you can get future debates and get smarter than everyone else. We'll see you then.